Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Jayojaya Mudhirahe Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Reading from Canto 11, Chapter 1, The Curse upon the Edu Dynasty, text number 6 and 7. Swamurtiyam Lokalavanya Nirmuktya Lochanam Nirnam Girbes Tam Smaratam Chittam Padais Tan Ikshatam Kriya. We have two shlokas. We will recite sixth one. Swamurtya lokalavanyam nirmuktya lochanam runam girbista smaratam chittam padaistan ikshatam kriya. Swamurtya lokalavanyam Nirmuktya lochanam nrunam girbista smaratam chittam padaistan ikshatam kriyam. Swamurtya lokalavanyam nirmuktya lochanam nrunam girbista smaratam chittam Padaistan ikshatam kriya. Kindly repeat. Murtya lokalavanyam. Matajis. Translation purport by disciples of His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is a reservoir of all beauty. All beautiful things emanate from Him, and His personal form is so attractive that it steals the eyes away from all other objects, which then seem devoid of beauty in comparison to Him. When Lord Krishna was on the earth, He attracted the eyes of all people. When Krishna spoke, His words attracted the minds of all who remembered them. By seeing the footsteps of Lord Krishna, people became attracted to Him, and thus they wanted to offer their bodily activities to the Lord as His followers. In this way, Krishna very easily spread His glories, which are sung throughout the world by the most sublime and essential Vedic verses. Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, conditioned souls born in the future would cross beyond the darkness of ignorance. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left for his desired destination. Purport. According to Sridhar Swami, these two verses indicate that Lord Krishna, having achieved all the purposes for which he had descended, went back to his spiritual kingdom. It is natural that people in the material world hanker to see a beautiful object. In materialistic life, however, our consciousness is polluted by the influence of the three modes of nature, and therefore we hanker for material objects of beauty and pleasure. The materialistic process of sense gratification is imperfect because the laws of material nature will not allow us to be happy or satisfied in materialistic life. The living entity is constitutionally an eternal servant of God and is meant to appreciate the infinite beauty and pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna is the absolute truth and the reservoir of all beauty and pleasure. By serving Krishna, we can also share in his ocean of beauty and pleasure. And thus, our desire to see beautiful things and enjoy life will be fully satisfied. The example is given that hand cannot enjoy food independently, but can assimilate it indirectly by giving it to the stomach. Similarly, by serving Lord Krishna, the living entity who is part and parcel of Lord will derive unlimited happiness. The inconceivable Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, by displaying his own true form, freed the living entities from the falsely seeking forms of beauty other than his form, which is itself the source of all beautiful things. Simply by seeing his lotus feet, fortunate living beings could distinguish between the ungodly endeavors of the karmis who seek gross enjoyment for their own sense gratification and the practice of dovetailing one's activities with the service of the Lord. Although philosophers perpetually speculate about the nature of God, Lord Krishna directly liberated the jiva souls from all speculative misunderstandings about him by displaying his actual transcendental form and activities. Superficially, Krishna's personal form, words, and activities resemble those of ordinary conditioned souls. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained that this apparent resemblance between the Lord's activities and those of living entities is a merciful concession by the Lord so that the conditioned souls will be attracted to him and become eligible to return to his kingdom for an eternal life of bliss and knowledge. By showing his own spiritual form and kingdom to the living entities, in a way tangible for them, Lord Krishna drove away their false enjoying attitude and removed their long-standing indifference to his personality. As stated in the Bhagavad-gita, if one can understand the position of Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will never again fall into the network of material illusion. Such a fall down can be avoided if one constantly hears about the unique transcendental form and beauty of the Lord from the authorized Vedic literatures, as explained in the Bhagavad-gita, 2nd chapter. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avibhashyatah vedavad ratam parda nanyat astiti vadinam kamat mana swarga para janma karma phala pradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhoga ishwarya gatim prati. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to the heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desires of sense gratification, opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. On the other hand, certain parts of Vedic literatures are specifically meant to award material sense gratification to the conditioned soul and at the same time gradually condition him to obey the Vedic injunctions. The portions of the Vedas that recommend fruitive activities for regulated sense gratification are themselves dangerous because the living beings who engages in such activities becomes easily entangled in the material enjoyment offered and neglects the ultimate purpose of the Vedas. The ultimate purpose of the Vedic literature is to bring the living entity back to his original consciousness, in which he acts as an eternal servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. By rendering service to the Lord, the living entity can enjoy unlimited spiritual bliss in the association of Lord in his own kingdom. Thus, one who seriously desires to advance in Krishna consciousness should specifically hear the Vedic literature that deals with pure devotional service to the Lord. One should hear from those who are highly advanced in Krishna consciousness and avoid interpretations that stimulate materialistic desire for enjoyment. Continuing. When the tiny living entity is finally able to see the difference between the temporary affairs of this world and the transcendental activities of the Lord, Trivikrama, Krishna, he devotes himself to the Lord, removes from his heart the dark covering of matter, no longer desiring sense gratification, which is enjoyed under the two headings of sin and piety. In other words, although people within this world are considered sinful or pious, on the material platform, both sin and piety are performed for one's personal gratification. If one can understand that his real happiness lies in giving pleasure to Krishna, Lord Krishna takes such a fortunate living being back to his own abode, which is called Goloka Vrindavan. According to the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Lord first gives a sincere soul the opportunity to hear about his pastimes. When the devotee has advanced in his spontaneous attraction to such narration, the Lord gives him the opportunity to take part in his spiritual pastimes as they appear within this world. By taking part in the pastimes of the Lord within a particular universe, the living entity becomes completely detached from the material world, and ultimately the Lord brings him to his personal abode in the spiritual sky. Foolish people cannot understand this substantial benefit offered by the Lord. But Lord Krishna acts for the benefit of such foolish people by saving them from their absorption in the temporary world of false enjoyment. The Lord does this by personally displaying his own superlative transcendental beauty, transcendental words, and transcendental activities. Srila Jiva Goswami has pointed out the words Tamo Anaya Tarishyanti indicate that although Lord Krishna appeared 5000 years ago, one who hears and chants about activities, form, and the words of the Lord will get exactly the same benefit as those who personally experienced these things as contemporaries of Lord Krishna. In other words, he will also cross over the darkness of material existence and achieve the Lord's abode. Thus, Srila Jiva Goswami concludes that if such an exalted destination is available to all living beings, it must certainly have been awarded to the Yadavas, who were personal associates of the Lord. It is stated in this verse that by his beauty, Krishna stole away the vision of the people who saw him. Krishna's speaking was so attractive that those who heard him become speechless. Since generally those who cannot speak are also deaf, the Lord's words also stole away the ears of those who heard him, since they were no longer interested in hearing sounds other than Lord speaking. By displaying the beauty of his footsteps, Krishna stole away from those who saw them the power to perform materialistic activities. Thus, by his appearance in this world, Krishna took away the sense of mankind. In other words, he made people blind, dumb, deaf, mad, and otherwise invalid. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur asks, since he took away everything people possessed, who would properly call him merciful? Rather, he is just a thief. In this way, he indirectly offered the highest praise to the beauty of the Lord. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also pointed out that although Krishna gave liberation to the demons by destroying them to those who were attracted to him, Krishna gave pure love of God and drowned them in the ocean of his own beauty. Thus, Krishna is not like a person who gives charity without discrimination. And Krishna is so merciful that not only did he give the highest benediction to the inhabitants of the earth, but he empowered great saintly persons such as Vyasadeva to describe his pastimes with beautiful poetic verses. Thus, people born on the earth in the future could easily cross over the ocean of birth and death by those glories which are compared to a strong boat. In fact, those of us who are now enjoying the glories of Krishna through the transparent medium of the Bhaktivedanta purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, by the mercy of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, are the fortunate recipients of the mercy of Krishna, who was merciful even to persons yet to be born. Quoting from the Amara Kosha dictionary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has also stated, I think I request our manager to give 2 classes for this sloka. 1 class, it's not possible, such long purports. Padam Yavasita Trana Sthani Lakshmi Angri Vastutu. The possible definitions for Padam are that which has been decided, place of deliverance, fortune, foot or object. Thus he translates the word Padam is also meaning Vyavasita, that which has been decided. In other words, the statement Aghat Swam Padam Ishvara indicate not only that Krishna went to his abode, but that Krishna realized his determined desire. If you say that Krishna returned to his eternal abode, we imply that Krishna had been absent from his abode and was now returning. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that it is incorrect to say in a normal sense that Krishna went back to his abode. According to Brahma Samhita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always present in his eternal abode in the spiritual sky. Yet, by his causeless mercy, he also manifests himself from time to time within the material world. In other words, God is all pervading. Even when present before us, he is simultaneously in his abode. The ordinary soul or jiva is not all pervading like super soul, and therefore, by his presence in the material world, he is absent from the spiritual world. In fact, we are suffering due to that absence from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, is all pervading, and therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translated the words Aghat Swam Padam to mean that Krishna achieved exactly what he desired. The Lord is all pervading and self-sufficient in fulfilling his perfect desires. His appearance and disappearance in this world should never be compared to ordinary material activities. I think we are in the last paragraphs. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has quoted a statement by Uddhava at the beginning of 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein Uddhava compares the disappearance of Lord Krishna to the setting of the sun. In his purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada has written, the comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears. But the darkness experienced by the common man does not affect the sun itself, either at the time of sunrise or at the sunset. Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are exactly like that of sun. He appears and disappears in innumerable universes, and as long as he is present in a particular universe, there is all transcendental light in that universe. But the universe from which he passes away put into darkness. His pastimes, however, are everlasting. The Lord is always present in some universe, just as the sun is present in either the eastern or western hemisphere. The sun is always present either in India or America, but when the sun is present in India, the American land is in darkness. When the sun is present in America, the Indian hemisphere is in darkness. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted a verse from the end of 11th canto that further clarifies that abode of the Lord is as eternal as the Lord himself. The ocean immediately swallowed Dwaraka, O Maharaj, taking away the Lord's personal abode, which the Lord had abandoned. The Supreme Lord Madhusudana is always present in Dwaraka, which merely by being remembered takes away everything unfavorable. It is the most auspicious of all auspicious places. Just as the sun appears to be swallowed by the night, Krishna or his abode or his dynasty seems to disappear. But actually the Lord and all of his paraphernalia, including his abode and dynasty, are eternal. In the same way as the sun is always in the sky, Srila Prabhupada says in this connection, as the sun appears in the morning and gradually rises to the meridian and then again set into one hemisphere while simultaneously rising in the other. So the Lord Krishna's disappearance in one universe and the beginning of his different pastimes in another take place simultaneously. as soon as one pastime is finished here, it is manifested in another universe. And thus, his Nitya Leela or eternal pastimes are going on without ending. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshuron Militam Hena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshnaya Bhutalim Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patidanam Pavanem Yo Vaishnavim Yo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimad Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I seek blessings of so many seniors, Maharajas, Prajahari Prabhu and others, so that I can speak something for my own purification and glorification of the Lord. First, I would like to thank our temple commander Prabhu that giving such nice shloka. Almost 70% class is completed, so it is easier. So, such amazing purport. I think if you observe the entire purport, that it is basically speaking about book distribution. Like many times it referred in the entire purport, if you observe closely, that here is a one point made that how that this text which Srila Vyasadeva has given, and which Krishna has spoken in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Bhagavad-gita, one may think that only Arjuna got the benefit of hearing Gita, or the same benefit. But by the mercy of our Acharyas, especially Srila Prabhupada, all of us have the same benefit of hearing directly from Krishna when we hear the Bhaktivedanta purports and our Srila Prabhupada books. So that's why even in the translation, if you see the shloka, it's written, Lord Krishna said, Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, conditioned souls born in the future would cross beyond the darkness of ignorance. So just by hearing the glories of the Lord and chanting them, they can cross. And here purport is mentioned that how this is a benediction for all the future generations to come. If you see one line, he said, Srila Prabhupada is so merciful, he has actually given mercy to those who are not even born yet. Like somebody is not even born, but Srila Prabhupada's purports are giving mercy to them. Can you imagine? Like it's such a bhavishyavani, futuristic sense. That yes, we are all getting the mercy of Srila Prabhupada through books and these amazing purports. But Srila Prabhupada has given his books which are delivering even the souls who are to take birth in the Kali Yuga. So that is the amazing book distribution, like the glory of book distribution, which all devotees here, warriors, Sankirtan warriors are doing. And the purport is appreciating that that is like Bhurida Jana, the glorious activity of giving this transcendental literature to one and all. So yesterday, like Maharaj was speaking, that how the previous shloka, that birth is not a qualification, or the birth, the country, everything. When I read this purport, the 5th chapter, the 5th shloka, I felt this is such a thumping purport, like very powerful. The way the disciple of Srila Prabhupada has written is quite amazing. They're so vocal to say, to convince this, how just by some caste, some Nityananda Goswami or this Goswami, or being born in some devotee family won't actually direct guarantee anything. So sometimes when we are going out for preaching or anything, we may see that we are some gift to the world. Like, someone may feel that, I am something amazing. I am practicing bhakti, I am chanting. All these people are, materialistic people, like, in the purport it is mentioned. But actually, we have to be very clear and humble that we got the mercy. But rather than people become humble that we got the mercy, person become proud that I got such mercy. Right? So, why we have to become humble? Because when we are preaching or we are giving the book to someone, it's very difficult to understand what is the spiritual qualification or spiritual advancement of that person. So if you misjudge that, he is just learning Gita or Bhagavatam from me, I am practicing for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, then we misunderstand. So we do not know that person advancement. And then we see that they will start late and they will cross and go back to Godhead. And people like me are struggling with my own chanting and reading and hearing. Because I may feel that I preached this person, but this person went far away. I am just stuck here. So this is a very important thing devotees need to remember. We may be preaching like through Srila Prabhupada the books, but we should clearly understand and remember that it is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada we are able to do it. It is not my own glory. Like there is English, there is saying, we should not be proud of others' plumes. If somebody is given that, like a qualification, we should not think that it is my qualification or my benefit. So if you see the entire purport, it has covered almost every aspect of devotional life, what we are practicing. Like the importance of chanting and hearing glories of the Lord, and also the attractive form of the deity and how the Lord is so beautiful. So I was referring, there are so many shlokas connected to this purport, but as I said, it's not possible to share all these things. Can you show the document? So I just took some 2-3 important shlokas which are connected to our today's discussion, and we'll just discuss them. This shloka which is coming here comes from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 44th chapter. It explains the 6 qualities of Krishna's beauty. Because this translation, if you see, the beauty of the Lord is glorified so much. So before that, just want to mention one important Prabhupada pastime about the deities. Like when Prabhupada was giving lecture once, there were so many people sitting in the assembly. Prabhupada was speaking about the deity form and the Krishna, seeing Krishna, everything. Suddenly one person rises and says that, he stands up and says, Prabhupada, you are speaking up so much about, all this deity and seeing Krishna. Did you see Krishna? Aapne Krishna ko dekha hai kya? Then Prabhupada was like this, opposite to the deities, he was sitting. Then Prabhupada says, you sit down. I am seeing Lord and you are coming in the middle. So that means Prabhupada is actually seeing Krishna, not that, he is just telling that, so that is the Acharyas are always at that consciousness. Like I think one of the class he was mentioning that Prabhupada felt that Narada Muni was sitting in the class. Like one of the devotee mentioned in the previous Bhagavatam classes. That he used to feel that, Narada Muni came and sitting. So for us, we may feel that, this is exaggeration. But for Acharyas, we can easily, they can easily feel because their, ultimate connection to the, Supreme Lord. So this is this amazing shloka. This is the beauty of the Lord. So you can repeat after me. Gopyas tapah kimacharan yadamushya rupam lavanya sarama samodvamananya siddham drikpi pibanti anusabhavinam nurapam ekanta dhamma yashasha sriya aishwarasya. So this, like this, all these, devotees are feeling what austerities must be the gopis have performed? Jo gopis in the Vrindavan, what austerities they have performed? Now the one question I have, is it important to perform austerities to get bhakti? Like gopis here they are saying that they have done some austerities. So anyone would like to answer? Just whatever you feel. Is it important that gopis have performed austerities, that's why they got bhakti? Prabhu's answer.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Yesterday only I was reading 2nd canto 9th chapter. Srila Prabhupada says, Brahmaji, Krishna told him to perform 1000 years of tapa. Prabhupada said, Brahmaji performed devotional austerities of chanting and hearing. So, otherwise, if somebody performs this kind of austerity and penance, they will never get Krishna.
Exactly.
So they have performed
Devotional.
austerities.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank
like
you.
we are doing, chanting and Prabhupada said, deity worship, cleaning and dressing the deity, cleaning the
So
temple.
many austerities.
That is austerity, devotional austerity.
Thank you. Prabhu has given amazing explanation that this is a devotional austerities. So, but gopis did not do the regular austerities like, saying in the sun or going under the water, such kind of austerities they did not do. So bhakti, why Bhagavatam is saying about this gopis have performed austerities? The reason is that I was hearing that when we want to appreciate something, so there is a general saying that क्या किया है, कितना practice किया है, ऐसा like इतना अच्छा गा रहा है, like that. When we want to say, he may have not practiced. बहुत लोग आते हैं तुरंत गाना चालू कर देते हैं, वो गंधर्व है. So they may have not practiced. नॉर्मल व्यक्ति को प्रैक्टिस करके 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 उधर तक आते हैं. जैसे लास्ट टाइम हमारा कोचिंग में लाइक मेरा बाजू वाला व्यक्ति है, वो पूरा घूमते थे. He was going out here and there, anywhere. He used to not attend some classes also, but he used to become topper. Like rank, state में exam, when there was exam, he used to become topper. I was not understanding. I am in the hostel. I am studying morning, day, evening. I am not becoming a topper. But this fellow comes and he's a day scholar. Comes and just attend some classes. He becomes topper. So it's not necessary that every time the same hard work is required. Somebody is intelligent. He may become topper also. So gopis are like this. And then what are the 6 qualities of this thing? He is lavanya saram. Lavanya saram is essence of all beauty, essence of all loveliness. It's such an amazing beauty. We see RadhaRasbihari and Gaurnita and Lord Sri Ram Darbar. So they have such amazing beauty. Then why, after seeing this beauty also, why you are not attracted to fully to it? Then we know the amazing, our Durdaivam, that we are not attracted to it. Why? Because of our own anardhas and all our past misgivings and some of distracted, sadhana, actually cause of our own Durdaivam. Like we are unfortunate. Even though we have such amazing deities and process, we are not fully committed to it sometimes. I am telling about myself. And asamordham means there is no one who is as beautiful as Krishna or above him. If you read Krishna Leela, it is mentioned in the 10th canto, Krishna is so beautiful, like when he sees himself, sometimes he himself is get attracted to him. Like he's Madan Mohan, but he himself get attracted to him. And if you see that butter stealing pastimes, when Krishna was stealing butter, he used to see somebody in the mirror. Mirror means that all the pillars have also like jewels, everything. So when the reflection used to say, he used to think somebody else is there. Then he used to tell him, no, don't tell Maya, that I am stealing butter. And when Mother Yashoda used to catch him, he should tell her, this fellow has stolen. I did not steal, butter. So that is how Krishna is, attracting, he is attracting himself also, right? So, then the form is of the only abode of beauty, fame and opulence. The entire, if somebody wants a fame and opulence and beauty, that is the only form. And it is self-perfect. Ananya Siddham means self-perfect. Like, in the material world, somebody is, beautiful or somebody is strong. Somebody is, something else. We ask, kaisa kiya aapne? How did you do that? So in the बचपन में एक ad आता था, boost is the secret of my energy. So everybody has some secret, some to do something. Or somebody six-pack body hai, like people have family pack body, but normally six-pack body rahega. Then what happens if you ask? Then he must have practiced, like going to the gym and austerities and eating some prescribed food. So he must have practiced. But Krishna did not have to do anything. Ananya Siddham. He doesn't have to get it from somewhere. He is beautiful, like by nature. So this is another quality of Krishna's beauty. And one more meaning is given. Ananya Siddham means the gopis are the people who can perfectly understand Krishna's beauty. Ananya means not others. Only the gopis can understand the beauty of Krishna. So that is another characteristics of Krishna's beauty. And then durapam, difficult to obtain. So as I was mentioning, Srila Prabhupada, the Acharyas, how they were feeling presence of Narada Muni and many other sages when they were giving class or giving any discourse. The reason is that their consciousness, their how they are situated, their purity of consciousness actually is making them realize that actually. Normal people like Duryodhana or someone, they are seeing Krishna, but they are doubtful. Is he Supreme Lord? So they are not confident of it. So this is the dilemma. When our consciousness is not properly focused on Krishna and our sadhana, then what happens? Then we get doubts in our life. Are, am I doing right thing? There is so many things going in the material world. Am I missing something? So because the doubt comes because we are not focused. But if you see, in the purport it is written that our Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that they lost their eyes, vision, they became blind, they became deaf and dumb by Krishna's beauty and Krishna's hearing the Krishna's glories. See, that such an amazing comparison is given in this purport that people, for us, even though seeing Krishna, we are distracted. But for acharyas and great devotees, after seeing Krishna, nothing is visible. Nothing is visible, nothing is audible. So you see the level, hum kahan se kahan tak jana hai, from where we are struggling and what is the level the acharyas have gone actually. So amazing analogy I heard in this connection. If you see the birds, there are different birds. Like you see even the smallest is like even the cock or a peahen. It can only jump some height, 4 feet, 5 feet. But there are some birds which can fly, like sparrow or anything, and the crow. And there are like vultures, like what is that? Our eagles, they can fly very high. And if you see Ramayana and other places, we have like birds like Jatayu and what is the one more bird? Garuda. And there are so many birds, interplanetary birds. They can fly from one planet to another part. So the acharyas compare, when we glorify Lord, it is nothing like highest. Just like a bird, it can fly this much only. So any acharya is giving glorification, he is giving as per his understanding, his realization. So, but that is not the limit. So that's why here it is said Ananya Siddham. Only the gopis can perfectly realize the beauty of the Lord. Jai Jai SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple ki jai. SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple Hanuman ki jai. Sri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is how we have to understand that we are at struggling level, but our acharyas are like the birds flying high and understanding Krishna and going perfect. But it is durapam. Krishna's beauty is understanding durapam, and it is self-perfect, ever fresh. Like Krishna is 16 years, and then he is always 16 years. Not that he has to 16 years ka. Like when I came to Krishna consciousness, I used to see one slide in our PowerPoint. They used to write the grapes turning into raisins. That is a nice slide is there. If you see the grapes, and the raisins means सूख जाता है. Apple is there, you put it there, it becomes after some time become worn and black, and you have to throw in dustbin. So the material beauty is like this always. Sometime I am beautiful, But after some time, our beauty is lost completely, and no one is attracted to you. The world people, especially the so-called beautiful people who get Miss Universe, Miss India, whatever, after some year they don't want to come out of their room or anything because no one is appreciating them now. They're so much glorified at one point of time, but no one is looking at them, no one is caring them. So that's why if you really want to be happy and really attracted, so better to get attracted to Krishna's beauty, which is ever fresh and never fades away, just like material beauty. But it is durapam. That's why we need acharyas and association of devotees to constantly hear the same purport, hear the glories, so that we understand this is the beauty of Krishna, and only have attention to Krishna's beauty and not to get distracted by other worldly material beauty actually. One more shloka is in Madhya Lila about this amazing beauty of the Lord. Tarunyamruta paravara tarangala vanyasaran tate se avarta bhavodgama vamshidvani chakravata narimana trinapata taha dubaya nahaya utgama. This is amazing, such sweet shloka is there, Madhya Lila 21st chapter. The bodily beauty of Sri Krishna is like a wave in the ocean of eternal youth. Taruna means youthful. So always Krishna is eternal youthful. In that great ocean is a whirlpool of the awakening of ecstatic love. And the vibration of Krishna's flute is like a whirlwind, and the flickering minds of the gopis are like straws and dry leaves. When the whirlwind comes, you see that it just rotates all the the straw and dry leaves So that's why comparison is given. After they fall down in that whirlwind, just like we have Trinavarta, either be Avarta hai. Like once you fall in that whirlwind, they never rise again. Matlab, na taha dubaya nahaya udgama. Once you get into that whirlwind, it is no escape. You can't go out. So they never rise again, but remain eternally at the lotus feet of Krishna. So this is the amazing, beauty of Lord, that always at his ocean of eternal youth, not normal, ocean of eternal youth actually. That's why one shloka comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. One may read all this thing, but still get attracted to Krishna's, not get attracted. So in Madhya Lila 22nd chapter, the very nice shloka is there. Krishna says, this is very important for our own sadhaka practice. If Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, like somebody is engaged in devotees practicing, but they still want some material enjoyment, and he is very, very foolish. Indeed, he is just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison. The jo vyakti hai, he give up the nectar of Lord's beauty and pastime and taking the poison of material enjoyment. So that's why there Lord says, Ami vignya eye murkhe vishaya khena diba swacharanamruta diya vishaya bulaiba. This is very famous shloka that I am intelligent. Why should I give this full material enjoyment? That's why when you come to devotional service, sometimes our material assets are gone. Like sometimes, somebody is gone, some business chala gaya. Like Prabhupada said when his entire pharmacy got in fire, he says, very nice. Now I can fully practice. Now I am completely detached from that. So that's why, that is a Prabhupada's humility. But for us, so Prabhupada, Lord is saying, why will I give a material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of shelter of my own lotus feet. Swa charanamrita diya vishaya bulaiba. And that make him forget illusory material enjoyment. So, but if you come to this, if you want to come to this forgetting the material enjoyment, we have to stick to our devotional practices. At least we should effort, our chanting and hearing and, association of devotees. If you don't put that effort, then we cannot, Lord will not do that, no? Because we are not, ourselves not interested. At least we are sincere in our sadhana and struggling, then Lord will help. Otherwise, if you are, okay, I will do whatever nonsense I want and Lord should help. That won't happen so easily, unless Krishna is so merciful to you. But the normal case is that we should strive our best to do our sadhana nicely and, take association of devotees, not become too proud that I am a, devotee a gift to the material world, I am a deliverer, I am preaching, so many people are, following me, like that. So that is another fall down, in the bhakti, I am there and feel the proud of, that pride of that I am a devotee. That is not a true ego. The true ego is that I am servant of Krishna and Krishna is merciful, that's why I am practicing. No? Then if you are struggling, then this shloka comes, Ami Vignya Yehi Murka Vishaya Kena Diba Swacharanamruta Diya Vishaya Bulaiba. So I think time is up. So I will pause the class for today. If somebody has any questions and comments, they can continue. Anyone wants, they may kindly leave. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All are doing book distribution. Hare Krishna.
There is one chapter, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teachings to Sanatana Goswami, opulence and beauty of Lord Krishna.
Yeah.
So he became so absorbed, Lord Chaitanya became so absorbed praising the beauty of Krishna. Then he says, Hare, I wanted to say something, but I got diverted to like that. So Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhakti-rasam Sindhu, very nice that you quoted this verse. Mahaprabhu quoted this verse in that chapter. I think you quoted from
Which
there.
one you can mention? Because I quoted something.
That, this...
Lavanya Sara.
Lavanya
Sara.
Yeah.
Asamurtha.
Yeah. So that is from Mathura ladies. I think,
Yeah,
right?
Mathura ladies.
Yeah.
Verse,
So Prabhupada writes in Bhakti-rasam Sindhu that one who is absorbed in Krishna's beauty, he is considered a pure devotee of the Lord. He is in a transcendental position. Then Prabhupada writes in another purport, one should hear, one should do kirtan, then one should think about, and then one should meditate on the beauty of Krishna.
Amazing. This sloka, this purport, I felt that I can't quote even 1% of this entire purport. It's such depth is there in this sloka, but I had to do service.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have one comment. जब तृणाव्रत भगवान कृष्ण जब छोटे बच्चे थे तो यशोदा माँ के गोद में यशोदा माँ उसको लेके बैठी थी। जब उनको पता चला तृणाव्रत आ रहा है तो उन्होंने अपना भार इतना बढ़ाया कि यशोदा माँ उनका वजन संभाल नहीं पाई।
करेक्ट।
नीचे उतर के रखना पड़ा। फिर वापस उन्होंने तृणाव्रत उनको बवंटर के रूप में आया, चक्रवात वादल के रूप में, और वो ऊपर उड़ाना चाहता था। तो प्रभु अपनी इच्छा से हल्के हो गए। अगर वो नहीं चाहे वो उनको उड़ा नहीं सकता था। अपनी इच्छा से हल्के हो गए, फिर ऊपर चले गए। फिर उन्होंने तृणवत का जो मुंडी है ऐसे मरोड़ कर उसको मार दिया। फिर वापस नीचे आए और फिर वापस अपना वजन कम किया, और जब यशोदा माँ उनको वापस अपने गोद में ले सकी। तो प्रभु स्वतंत्र है, वो अपनी इच्छा से करते हैं, जो उनका कार्य है वो दिव्य है। हरे कृष्ण।
थैंक यू महाराज। आप कुछ
One comment. Krishna is the reservoir of all beautifulness. He attracts everyone. But Radharani beauty is more superior than Krishna because Krishna attracted by the beauty of Radharani. So Radharani is topmost, the reservoir of all beautifulness. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Maharaj. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Sorry, actually, I could not speak much because of lack of time. But I hope you are happy.